What is up, everybody? How is everybody doing on this fine Monday evening? I hope well. I'm a little bit. What's up, Dak owns filthy? Salute to you, brother. Um, I'm a little bit under the weather, so if I sound a little congested, it's because I am. But either way, I'm glad to be here tonight, as always, to talk Cowboys football. Um, Nothing better than talking Cowboys football. Um, Before we get started, please like the video, please share the video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Also, please follow all my social medias here to the left of me. Well, I guess it would be what's my right, your left. So please follow all of my social media accounts, please, especially on X and Twitter. That's where you can get my daily live thoughts about the team, what's going on in the NFL. TikTok, I try to put out, special videos and things like that, based on what I think, what I want to see within Cowboys Nation. And then Facebook. I pretty much use Facebook for like promotion and stuff like that. So follow me on Facebook as well, just to know when I'm doing anything. And then Instagram, that's where you know about all my shows, as well as I post videos on Instagram. I just uploaded a new post videos today because I had the fortunate opportunity to go to the Dallas Cowboys versus Seahawks game this past Thursday. And man, that was so much fun. That was my first game ever, first ever Cowboys game. I had a lot of fun. No place for sure. You know what they say? It's no place like home. It's no place like Jerry World. The stadium is so beautiful inside, and I had been to the stadium before, but I hadn't been since high school. I think we performed there. I was a band nerd in high school. We performed there one time, but other than that, I ain't been to Jerry World in a while, especially not a game. So, just a beautiful stadium. Just the environment, everything was just so fun. And you spend a lot of money because of food and stuff like that, but it's worth it. Just an experience being with the fans. Surprisingly, there was a lot of Seahawks fans there as well, which was surprising, but it didn't matter because we beat them. You know what I'm saying? So, awesome experience. I'm trying to see if maybe I can. Well, let me see if I can. Just to kind of show you. I don't know if I got my account. If I don't have my account logged in, I ain't even gonna deal with it. Oh, I do have my account logged in. Bam. Thank you, bam. Let's see if I can actually get to my profile. So I'm gonna. If I can just share this with y'all. Yeah. Okay. So y'all see me, I'm gonna go to my just be at the Cowboys game, having a good time. Y'all see Star was decked out. Beautiful 18th stadium. It's me and my brother-in-law. Whenever I talk to my brother about something, that's what I talk. We went to the game together. He's the one who got me into being a super Cowboys fan. I was a fan, but never like a fanatic. So shout out to G West if he's in the chat. And then also has some good videos I can share with y'all. This right here is CD's touchdown. Now, granted, I was screaming, so you got to look carefully at the bottom of the screen to see CD. Yep, see right there. And I started screaming, but shout out to CD, the main man. getting that touchdown. That was just such a heck of a throw. CD should have had about 2 or 3 of those. Dak kept trying to get it to him, but for some reason, CD was only locked in for that one play. Because two times Dak tried to do it, CD wasn't coming up with it. But that's okay, because he still had a monster game. And then this is Brandon Cooks touchdown. Let's go, baby. So y'all be sure to follow me for sure on Instagram, please. Y'all follow me on Instagram. Let me see. Okay, I think it's anyway. Y'all be sure to CD sure did. He turned all the way up. So y'all be sure to follow me on Instagram and see, videos like that. Hopefully we have a playoff game at home and I can go to that, because I think you'll have more videos and stuff like that. But also posted videos and stuff from when I went to training camp at the Star in August. So be sure to follow me on all social media so y'all can see all things Cowboys. Anyway, Big Day, I cannot believe they are pushing. Oh my God, I'm going to see if I can show y'all something. I'm going to show y'all a graphic that shows why Purdy is 110% not the NFL MVP. I think I retweeted it twice, so it should be. Here it goes right here. People just be talking nonsense. They just doing that because Purdy. It's like absolutely. Hold on. Y'all see this? Hold on, y'all see that? That's Purdy's pass chart. That's Dak's pass chart. Versus, I think both is versus the Eagles. There's a clear difference. Clear difference from what Dak is doing versus what Purdy is doing. And I want to say, listen, it's no knock. I want to say here, it's no knock at all. It's us other dudes where LOL. It's no. Yeah. That's all I'm trying to say. Listen, Purdy is a good quarterback, right? I watch Purdy. He is very accurate. He throws with anticipation, right? But Purdy is literally the textbook definition of what you would call a system quarterback. And that's no knock on Purdy, because he's perfect for Shanahan's system, i.e. why he is thriving. But we already know what Purdy is if he can't stay on script, if he can't stay ahead. We already know what, so Purdy is not the MVP. If anybody's the MVP of, San Francisco 49ers, it should be Christian McCaffrey. Because I made a video a while back saying when we were playing, when we were about to play the 49ers, it was on my TikTok and my Instagram. Christian McCaffrey is off. And I know Debo gets involved. I know Debo went off on the Eagles. Clap to Debo. I know they got Kittle. I know they got what's his name? Ayuk. They got all these guys. But that offense, it lives and breathes Christian McCaffrey. Even if Christian McCaffrey's not getting the ball, he's still the sole focus of their offense. You know what I'm saying? So he's the reason why Debo's and Ayuk's can get off, because teams are so focused on Christian McCaffrey. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the content, because we got something to talk about today. So the title of this show is called Dan Moore. Yes, that's what it's called. Dan Moore. Okay. And so if you saw the thumbnail, you could see where I'm going with this, but we're gonna talk about it, because although we had a great day on offense, and I think Dak just further solidified himself as MVP. Y'all please like the video, please. If y'all like the video, it alerts YouTube. YouTube can push out my content to more, viewers, more Cowboys fans, sports fans. So if you're watching, please watch the video. Anyway, so here I go. Offense carries the defense to a victory. Dak has the MVP performance again. Okay? And I say again because he's been on a tear since the bye week. Y'all know that. And so he just continues to stack his performances. I think a great quote from Dak is like, he was asked after the game, what do you say to your critics and your haters? And he's like, listen, I appreciate them, but I'm not worried about them. He said, I'm going to continue to stack these games. I'm going to continue to stack these games. I'm not going to stop. And he said, I have the pen. I have the paper. I'm the one writing my story. And that's the type of mindset that you need as an individual, period. People can say what they want to say about you. But I always say this, only you can disprove people's narratives about you, right? Only you can do that. Because people can say what they want, right? They can say, you're going to suck at your job, you're going to get fired tomorrow because you're going to be terrible. Does that make it true? No, that's just words. You know what I'm saying? And let's say things with that. People can say he's an awful quarterback, but you can't deny right now that Dak is elite, best quarterback, best player in football right now. You can argue, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, right? You can argue, though, that the best players in football, but I think Dak Prescott is the best player in football. He's the best quarterback in football right now. And he is undoubtedly the league MVP right now. Now, we, of course, have more games to go through. That's solidified, but right now, he is the MVP front runner. Absolutely, as he should be. With 29 to 41 yards. 29 to 41, 299 yards, 3 touchdowns, and throw kicks against that Seattle defense. And we know Seattle got some dogs, and they've got 2 dog corners, and Tariq Woolen and what's his name? Devon Witherspoon. And man, watching it live, and then I watched it back on all 22. That defense was physical with us the whole night. Anytime they could lay a hit on us, extra pushes out of bounds, extra slams out of bounds. There was a thing that should have been what's called a play that should have been a penalty by Devon Witherspoon. I think that was Devon or Tariq Woolen. I think Woolen is 7. Yeah, by Woolen, who he was clearly out of bounds and he literally body slammed him. Should have definitely been a penalty. But whatever. We won the game, so whatever. But they was definitely physical with us. But yet, we put up 1. So anyway, and I think it's just further getting rid of this narrative of the Dallas Cowboys are soft. The Dallas Cowboys, they can just get pumped around and bullied. I think that narrative should be pretty much dead, at this point. Because although we don't talk about our defense, when I went back and watched all 22, now live, the defense is the same. I'm not going to say it. If you're watching the game live in the stadium, it's just a wave of emotion. I'm not even going to lie to you and say I was not confident we were going to win that game going into the first quarter. The defense just continued to give up point after point after point. But thank God for our MVP. Thank the football guys for our MVP and Dak Prescott, who would not rest, right? Who would not stop. Dak didn't care if he had to put up 8 touchdowns. He was winning that game. And that is the leadership that you need. That's the leadership that you need to win championships. So anyway, shout out to Dak. Tony Pollard had 83 yards from scrimmage. He had a pretty solid game. Excuse me. I do say here that his vision, when I went back and watched the other two, his vision struggled a bit in the beginning of the game, which has kind of been an issue on the all year. But for the second half, like end of the first, in the second half, Tony really started to run really, really, really hard. And he also had a great off-script play for a first down It was really, really awesome. And I think I have that play actually in my Instagram. It was a phenomenal play. And that's the second time. Because I think the first time Tony did that was I think the first time he did it was in the Chargers game where he had that huge. Yeah, it was a Chargers game where he had that huge off-script play. Let me see. I got it. I think this is it. No, that's Rico Dowdle. I think this is it right here. Yep. All right, I'm gonna pull it up for y'all so y'all can see real fast. But Tony is doing his job. Is he having an amazing, outstanding year? No, I wouldn't quantify that. But do I think that Tony is doing his job? He's been great in pass protection. Hopefully y'all can see this. But let's just see. But uh-oh. Yeah, I don't know why it does this. Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, that's a great video. Okay, anyway. Y'all can see that, but he did great in pass protection. Ooh, Dak does that off script play to him, and he got a first down. So Tony has definitely been that safety outlet for Dak. And on that play, he actually blocked somebody, then got up. I'm gonna let him play again. He actually blocked somebody, then gets up. It becomes that outlet for Dak to get the first down. So just so grateful for the guys just, really stepping up. I mean, this is what it's gonna take, right? This is what it's gonna take to go all the way. You need players to be fully locked in the entire game. And so Tony Pollard was definitely locked in. Shout outs to him. Shout out to also CD, the main man Lamb, had a monster game per usual. 12 receptions for 116 yards. And I believe CD has already passed how many 100-yard games he had last season. I think last season in total, he's already passed that. So CD is having an incredible year. Likely his numbers are only behind, I think, Tyreek Hill. I think. Could be wrong. But I think his numbers are only behind Tyreek Hill. I know for sure he passed AJ Brown. So he will likely be first team All Pro this year. If not, he'll be second team All Pro again. And so moving on, offense was great, phenomenal job. Yes, there was some drops by CD, but he made up for that. Single-handedly almost won us a game when Mike decided to do that in the round again that he had actually done at the beginning of the game. I didn't catch that till the all 22, but props for Mike McCarthy. Brian Schottenheimer, Mike Solari, our offensive line coach, Jeff Glasgow, our running backs coach and running game coordinator, Lunda Wells, our tight end coach, Robert Prince, our wide receiver coach. Let's clap for all of those guys, right? Because they're doing a phenomenal job with this offense. This offense is just clicking. When I got to watch the offensive line, I mean, the pockets are clean for that. Terrence Steele struggled a little bit in this game. I ain't gonna lie. He didn't kill the game. He did not kill the game like he almost did. Like he did in the Eagles game. And actually, there was an incredible play that Dak. I said, for sure, I said this is the play of the game for Dak. If I can pull it up. No, I'm pulling up a lot of stuff. But this is fun to show y'all. If I can do it quickly, why not? But Dak had a lot of. I think it was Law who said Houdini Dak. That play to Tony Pollard, Houdini Dak. This play was Houdini Dak. Find this here. Because the way that Dak got out of that, Terrence Steele got beat so bad. I mean, it was for sure a sack. Dak just refused to go down and got a first down. I mean, that's what you call MVP level play. I can find it real fast. If I don't find it in 10 seconds, I'm going to move on. I promise. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Nope, that's not it. Come on, I know I had this here. All right, I guess I can't freaking find it. I had it. It went viral when I said to play the game. Oh, found it. Found it. Okay. Almost was about to give up. Okay. You can see this? Yeah, but this was the play of the game right here. Y'all see that? That was dead to right. Play of the game. Just amazing. Then finds Tolbert. And Tolbert is just seeming to be that guy. Whenever Dak just needs to find somebody to get the first down randomly, it's always Jalen Tolbert. Just great. Love this type of stuff. MVP. MVP. Rain Dakota Prescott. Okay. Anyway. So, and then also I watched the All 22, and I wanted to just, express some key observations that I saw from the offense that I wasn't able to like really see live because, I was full of emotion and all that stuff. I didn't even take no videos of the second half of the game, no lie. Because I was just too invested. It was too much going on for me to film. But anyway, one, I had here, Mike is working to get Turpin the ball. So in the first half, after Turpin made that incredible goal line play, Dak gave him a high point ball, and Turpin made a great pass. Loved it. Right? There was 2 plays for Mike, and Mike tried to get Turpin the ball immediately. Right? I think it was 2 screens or something like that, and Turpin dropped the throw. After that, you didn't see Turpin run again. On offense. And you know what? I love that. And so I said, Mike will eliminate role players from game plan if mistakes are clear. And I think that's such a, it sets a standard. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, if TD drops the ball, we're not eliminating him because he's our star. If Jake Ferguson drops the ball, he's our star. We're not eliminating him. If Brandon Cook drops the ball, we're not eliminating him. Right? But when it comes to the Tolbert, the Turpin, the Luke Shoemaker, the Michael Gallups, the Jalen Brooks, these guys are not the stars. So if they want to be on the field and if they want to be a part of the game plan, they have to produce. So shout out to Mike for that type of, and I had noticed it with Michael Gallup, but I'm like, oh, Mike's doing this with everybody. He's not playing any game. And y'all see that after that Panthers game, Tolbert has no longer been a focal point of the offense. And I think that's exactly what role players should be. Now, I think we continue to try to get Turpin involved, and I think Mike is going to do that. But I think in games, Mike is telling the role players, if you want a role, if you want a bigger role, you better show up, because if you don't show up, you're going to be on the bench. And I think that's a type of mentality that you need for championship football, because it forces players to be locked in. We don't have time to be playing these games and losing games with the role. You get what I'm saying? Also, I noticed Houston Ferguson are becoming a real focal point game plans along the city. There was a tight end screen that he had been trying to hit for weeks now, but he wasn't able to do it. He finally was able to do it with Ferguson. Ferguson also just a great outlet for that. So many first downs. Bringing, and I'm going to get to that, that's our next point. For him and Cooks, I mean, Dak is finding Cooks, Dak is finding Ferguson. And these guys are getting the first down. We are targeting them, and they are producing for us. So shout out to Mike, because those are 2 guys that we said, Mike, let's get these guys seriously involved, just like CD, and he has. So it's like this offense knows what makes it good. And it's those three: CD, Fergie, Brandon Cook. And then we have something that really showed up in this game, and I think it's going to carry forward on through the season in the playoffs. Ferguson is our new Zeke. And I say this because the whole offense, because when you're a passing offense, which we are a pass-leading offense, people tend to say that we're very finesse, right? Because that's what you think of. When you say passing offense, you think finesse. When you think of running the ball, you think of physical, right? And I remember when Stevie was finally able to answer what the identity of his offense was, he said explosive and physical. And when I saw Jake Ferguson really set the tone on that physicality, that nastiness, just a picture of him to the right, getting the face of Jamal Adams. And when he was doing that, he getting everybody fired up. He getting Brandon Cook fired up. He getting Steven fired up. He getting Dak fired up. Dak's flexing on people. I saw Luke Shoemaker out there. Luke Shoemaker was out there fighting defensively. Like, Jake Ferguson he's the leader of the tight end room, so I'm not shocked by it. But this man, he just brings a whole different element to this offense. And he shows you that just because you pass the ball don't mean you gotta be soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, just because we're a pass-leading offense don't mean we gotta be soft. And I just love it. I love what Jake Ferguson is bringing, that type of mentality. Not only talking, but backing it up. Like that touchdown, the last touchdown we got, he got on Jamal Adams and then just stared at him because Jamal Adams was running his mouth all day long. I mean, just beautiful. I don't think you could ask for anything better out of your players. I also noticed that Mike is using Dowdle more in the red zone. This is about two weeks in a row now. Dowdle in the red zone more, and I think that's amazing. That's what we wanted to do more in the red zone. He still hasn't used Hunter Luke. I don't know why, but maybe he's saving it for the last turnover. Either way, red zone offense really hasn't been an issue like that for us. Even in the Seattle Seahawks game, we hit 50%. We went 4 of 8, which is good. I don't know. We're not supposed to be. We're not going to be 100% in the red zone. I mean, even if a defense is trash, they usually can cover in the red zone because the field is smaller. You know what I'm saying? So, and also something I noticed as well is that Tony's actually running routes in the red zone. And it's been for a couple of weeks. Texas routes, quick outs, slants. I mean, Tony is actually running routes. So for everybody who said, Tony Pollard, he's a wide receiver, why don't we use him as a wide receiver? Mike is using him as a wide receiver. So just to let everybody know that. And I just think great. I mean, just great day from offense. I literally had no problem, no qualms, nothing really negative to say about the offense apart from this. And then I'll say this, and then we can go into the break. But Mike McCarthy, please come to the screen. Now, y'all know, especially on this platform, the StarGazerSports cast, that I love Mike. My first 4 episodes of this podcast was a whole 4-part series on why Mike McCarthy is the best thing since sliced bread and why he's going to lead us here. But I will say this. Mike McCarthy almost lost this game on Thursday night. Y'all might say, well, why do you mean that? What you saying? How he almost lose this game? This decision on 3rd down after the Seattle Seahawks had already used up all of their timeouts. His decision to throw the ball there, essentially giving the Seahawks 2 minutes left to go down the field and score on our defense, who didn't force a punt pretty much all game. No, they didn't force a punt all game. Because even at the end, when they got those 3 and out, Seattle kept going for it on 4th down. They was forcing them off the field on 4th down. Turnover on downs. But That decision, and I love Mike McCarthy very much, but that decision literally almost cost us the game. We had to expect Jordan Lewis, who's been pretty much up and down, right? He's our fourth corner, so that's how he's supposed to be. He's not going to be the best thing ever, right? Thank God for Jordan Lewis and DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons at the end, who stood up. Because had it not been for those three players, we'd likely lose that game, right? Even though the offense, Dak, another great performance, it would have been almost like a repeat of the Eagles game, where the offense is great, but because of the defense, we let it. In that situation, you take the clock down to about a minute or under a minute, you kick the field. Giving them 2 minutes left was great. I don't care. Oh, this person was open, or CD got a DPI, or whatever. I don't care about that. You just don't throw the ball in that situation. You don't throw the ball. If you're gonna throw the ball, Mike, on second. You know what I'm saying? Like, for you to throw the ball there, it just didn't make sense. And for you to put your defense back on the field that had been struggling all game didn't make any sense. I don't know if that was just like a character building moment for Mike. I don't know. But just thank God for our MVP. And thank God for our defensive players that I named who just showed up. But I'm going to stop right here and allow Deep to come in to do the Blast Artist.
Good evening, everybody. Tonight we have our boy, and this is my man J-Saw, and this song is called Stunner. So let's check it out.
Chili cheese dog with extra onions, French fries, tater tots, wash it down with 1 beer, 2 beers, 3 beers, a shot of whiskey, a margarita, and a Bloody Mary. And I said, Stone Cold, why have one when you can have a both?
I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I do what I say what I do, I show it all on my wall. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I do what I say what I do, I show it all on my walk. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk. I'm a Stone Cold stunner. I got the moves to give you chills up in the summer. God-given abilities. I don't need a piece of lumber. Make you slumber, hit like thunder. Have you looking around like Stevie? Wonder who pulled the rug from under. Will make you think you pack going, will leave you golden. Mr. Call the police. We got ourselves a runner. Look yourself in the mirror and feeling good like man, nah bruh. How the hell you built bruh? And standing tall like stills bruh. The 90s you get killed bruh. So many men without spine talking about real when they lie, snitching when they face with time. Shut your mouth, that's bottom line. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I do what I say what I do, I show it all on my wall. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I'm a stunner, Stone Cold stunner. I do what I say what I do, I show it all on my walk. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk. People nowadays really sick with the poker face, acting like they're real until the law is in their face. They telling them everything. When cards were dealt, you should've threw them in. You knew what you was getting in. Said use a man, I'll use a film. Car will wait up on ya, all rocked up like them boulders. If you didn't get names, it's over. You said going out with gun blazing, you ain't no fucking soldier. Nah, use a hoe, bruh. That shit you did it with low, bruh. You should got pop soda, but you having a ball, boba. I swear this world is over. Got mine tumbling over. We glorify a hoe, bruh? Question mark. Now let's put that on poster. Just spitting facts, not roaster. Now put your head on shoulder. I'm a stunner, stone cold stunner. I'm a stunner, stone cold stunner. I do what I say what I do. I show it all on my wall. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk. I'm a stunner, stone cold stunner. I'm a stunner, stone cold stunner. I do what I say what I do. I show it all on my walk. I'm not here for play, I'm here for the stay. You can tell by the way that I talk.
Yes, indeed, and that's our boy Jay Saw with Stunner. And if you are an independent artist, spoken word poet, or even a comedian that's looking for some exposure, you can go to blastmusic247.com and register for free. But Blast is also looking for the fans of music. So if you would like to get access to hundreds and hundreds of free independent music, you can go to blastmusic247.com, register as a fan, and enjoy yourself. Blast, changing the industry one artist at a time. All right, Star, back to you.
Thank you, Veep. Okay. So we'll get into the second part of our show after talking about our offense, and let's get on to this defense. What's up, Nisi? Glad to see you in the chat. Thank you. And I agree with you, Craven. Blast Artist of the Week is always very, very good. Y'all find those artists that he plays every week. These are independent artists. Okay, so I have here. Is Dan Quinn our new Kellen Moore? Wow. Hence why this show is called Ken Moore. And this is crazy because I don't think anybody expected. If you told anybody in March of last year that the offense was going to be carrying the defense at this time and they would be the strength of our team, we would laugh at you, right? Because this is Dan Quinn's third year with this defense. We just knew the defense was going to be like that. We're like, we got the depth. So if anybody goes down, we're still going to be top 5 defense. And of course, we lost Diggs. We lost Overshown, right? We lost serious players, right? But we all said, we good. We got the depth. We got Bland, who's making his case for defensive player of the year, although he did not have a good game this past week. But I say, is Dan Quinn our new Kellen Moore? And my answer, unfortunately, is yes. And this is why I say this. Just like Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn chooses scheme over his players. Just like Kellen Moore, Dan Quinn's plays lack creativity. When I say creativity, I mean Dan Quinn is lining up in like the most basic defenses, cover 3, cover 1, all out, We rarely blitz, you know what I'm saying? We blitz here and there, but we usually do stunts and stuff like that to get pressure with just our front foot. And this is a scheme that is so basic that is being able to be taken advantage of by not even the best offensive coordinators in the league, because he got taken advantage of by the Cardinals, which I don't even know who that offensive coordinator is. And he got taken advantage of by the Seahawks offensive coordinator, which I don't even know who that is. So it's not like, it's just Kyle Shanahan has his number or anything like that. Like, no. This is just Dan Quinn. Because when I went back and watched all 22, I'm like, and then let me forget my other point. Chooses favorites over talent and capability. Now, remember last year when we kept saying, why can't Turpin get involved? All of a sudden, Turpin's involved this year. Why can't Tober get in on the field? All of a sudden, Tober's involved this year. While we continue to have run Michael Gallup out there running stop routes when he just got off of ACL, MCL, whatever he got off surgery. Y'all remember the questions we had? We having them same questions. Why is Dono in coverage? Why is Hurst constantly in coverage? Why isn't Wanye Thomas playing? Why isn't Izzy Mwamu playing? You see that? See how it's the exact same questions that we're having with Dan Quinn? And so I went back and I watched all 22 because, of course, when you're watching it live at the game, I'm like, the defense sucks. They are playing horrible once again, okay? Because the defense is averaging, and I said this in a couple of shows before this one, that the defense is averaging 32 points given up in losses. 32 points. The fact that our quarterback had to put up 41 points for us to win this one against the Seahawks is crazy. Okay? 41 points. And when you look at it, we control the time of possession. So it wasn't that the defense was tired. The defense was fresh. And when I watched the film, I'm like, the defense don't look, some people were saying the defense looked tired. They did not look tired to me at all. It looked just like in the San Fran game where your scheme is just getting out-schemed. It's getting outmanned, and you're just refusing to do pretty much anything about it. And, and I say this because I said players didn't look tired, but the scheme did. Okay? We played great against the run. Shout out to Micah, because I think Micah really don't want to switch to linebacker. You know what I'm saying? I think he wants to be a full-time edge. And in this game, Micah was playing the heck out of the run. That's why I said just like Baby D, he was like a Baby D-Law out, where he was really stopping the run from the edge. Quick off the ball, it was like Micah really wanted to stop the run because Micah, he don't really be going full out, all out, especially on the edge when it comes to like stopping the runs. When he plays linebacker, he does, but in the edge, he's trying to get to the passer. So the fact that like Micah was hitting the edge, he was sprinting around, getting the running back from behind. I mean, shout out to Micah, played great, right? And that's how I knew they wasn't tired, because if you're tired, when you keep getting run on, you're gonna eventually break down, right? Because it's harder to stop the run than the pass. And so the players they were stopping the run all day. They was not tired. So everybody's coming up with that. We had 3 games in 12 days and all of this stuff. And I put on Twitter, I said, well, why did just the defense have 3 games in 12 days, or did the offense as well? The offense did as well, and the offense was fine. So no, from my eyes, it wasn't that the defense was tired. Okay. So if you want to know what the heck happened, Star, why was our defense looking so bad? So I came up with this conclusion. 1, DK Metcalf, just a bad matchup versus him. It's a bad matchup. And that's the thing. Dan Quinn did not respect DK Metcalf. Thank you, football guys. Because remember when we used to say Kellen Moore did not respect opposing defenses? He didn't care what they was doing or who they were. He just going to roll out his team and say, I'm doing it. I don't care who you are. That's exactly what Dan Quinn did. Dan Quinn thought that his second-year corner was Trayvon Diggs, and that he could go up with no safety help. Well, let me not say no safety help, because we were in cover 2 man quite a bit too. So he did have safety help. But you thought it would be best matchup to have Bland on DK Metcalf, and the film showed otherwise. Bland does not have the long speed. DK Metcalf was just running by him. Like when it came to the slant, the slant that went for a touchdown on the Seattle's opening drive. I mean, it was just off to the races. And let me put some respect on Geno Smith's name, because Geno was playing like Geno Gino Montana out there. Gino was making some incredible throws. So I don't want to. We do have to give our opposition credit. Gino was making some great throws, but at the same time, it's like that play where it went for a slant and it went for a touchdown. Bland's trying to pick it. Bland don't have the wingspan to reach over DK and make that pick. Gino threw it in the perfect place that only DK could get it. Bland went for the pick. Donovan Wilson's way out of position. Way out of position. They were looked to be in a cover 2-man scheme. Donovan Wilson should have been behind. He's in front of Bland. Bland misses a pick, goes for a touchdown. Okay? So, but anyway, even the next drive, DK gets this deep ball over Bland. Gino threw a perfect ball, right? A perfect ball where it was going to go into DK's hands or it was going to go out of bounds. Bland had good position, but DK kind of did like a slight double move on him, and Bland doesn't have that recovery speed. DK Metcalf runs a 4.3, and he's like 6'5" or some crazy stuff like that. Bland's only like 6'1", 6'2", and runs probably like a low 4, probably like a high 4.4, 4.5 type of guy. He's a twitchy guy, but he's not a long speed guy, nor is he tall like a Trayvon Diggs. So the fact that Dan Quinn thought that was a game plan, it was horrible. It was just not a good matchup. He did make the adjustment. Everybody's talking about, he made the adjustment. Yeah, he did make the adjustment in the second half after they had already put up points on every single drive. Like, you need to adjust quicker, Dan Quinn. Adjust quicker. You don't sit here and wait for your corner to get beat over and over again. Rack up 28 points. Oh, let me go rack up 21 points. Oh, let me check it. What's up, Jay Money? Glad to see you in the chat. But anyway, our silver lining is we're not gonna have to face DK Metcalf every week. You know what I'm saying? So DK Metcalf is just a freak of nature. So we're not gonna face him every week. So no, I do not think Bland is trash. Yes, Bland is still in the Defensive Player of the Year talks. Absolutely. Even though he had a bad game against DK Metcalf, right? It just was not a good matchup. And that's okay. Sometimes you just don't have a good matchup. But another thing that Dan Quinn did was he pretty much stubbornly stayed in man coverage all game. Occasionally, I saw them do like a cover 2. But for the most part, they was in man all game. Maybe cover 1 man robber or whatever, but it was mostly man coverage. Okay. And so the issue was you got Jackson Smith and Jigba and Lockett, who are quick, shifty route runners, right? Who can route up defensive ends. And so the Seahawks offensive coordinator, he was just running man beaters all game. He running pick plays, he running mesh plays, he running slants. He's running quick outs, and he's running screens, and he's running like zig routes, double moves. He just ran man beaters all game. And instead of Dan Quinn adjusting, he just literally stayed in man coverage all game. That is not what you do. When you see that somebody can clearly beat your scheme, you need to adjust the scheme. You don't say, well, what we playing, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. I know we can't stop it, but I'm just gonna keep doing it, just like Kellen Moore. Just keep running your head into a wall, because this is my scheme. It's what I came up with. It's all I got. I can't handle that, because when we get into the playoffs, it's like, Dan Quinn, do you think the Seahawks offensive coordinator is the best coordinator you're gonna face? No, it won't be. Like, it's ridiculous. Then another thing, in the red zone, in the red zone, you know who Dan Quinn's not doing our red zone? He was in pass rush package in the red zone. And when I say pass rush package or passing defense, maybe not pass rush, but passing defense, is that why is Dono playing linebacker at the goal line? You think Dono is going to come up and stop a running play at the goal line? That touchdown that Charbonnet got, Dino was right there in the hole. He ain't strong enough to tackle Charbonnet. Charbonnet ran right over him. At the goal line, you need to have the true linebackers. You need to have Damone Clark. You want to put Marquise Bell, but he's undersized. You really need to have Rashaan Evans in there. It's like, what are you doing, Dan Quinn? It's like simple stuff. You're not making adjustments, right? Then he had linebacker Evans covering Lockett. And at first, I thought clearly that was a miscommunication or an accident. It was not, because when I watched the all 22, Rashaan Evans, as soon as he saw Lockett go up the seam, he immediately follows him. That was literally his assignment. And then you have Jay Lou just sitting there in the cover two, just sitting there and just covering underneath. In what world would you say, okay, I'm going to have my cornerback cover underneath and I'm going to let Evans cover Lockett down the field? Excuse me, guys, down the field. Like, what are you doing, Dan Quinn? Like, someone tell me, what are you really out here doing, Dan Quinn? And then you got Dono and Kirsten coverage constantly. They cannot cover. Curse is not, and I'm sorry, Wanye, if you're watching this. I know that's totally misspelled. I just did the name. Anyway, love you, Wanye. But Dono and Curse are not coverage safety. They are not coverage safety. I don't know why you continue to. They can do a little bit of coverage, but Dan Quinn consistently, he's still lining Curse up versus tight ends as if he's the tight end eraser that he was in 2021. Curse is not that man anymore. He's not that man anymore. And you're making your players look worse because you continue to have them in positions that they cannot play very well. It's the same thing with Dono. Dono can cover, but do you want him covering? No. You want him in the box, being the enforcer, coming up, making hits and tackles and blitzing. You don't want him off in coverage. You have two safeties in Wanye and Izzy Bakwamu who can cover, but you won't put them on the field. You continue to run your favorites out there, Donovan Wilson and J-Ron Curse, because those are your guys. Those are your buddies. And your buddies are getting us burnt on defense. And I'm not going to sit here and act like Curse and Dono are the worst safeties in the world. They are not. They are just not coverage safety. You want them in coverage as little as possible. You have the personnel to cover, but you're not putting them on the field. That is my issue with Dan Quinn. That's the same issue we had with Kellen Moore. That's why I'm not going to call him Dan Quinn anymore. I'm going to call him Dan Moore until he fixes his defense. Because, as I said, we're averaging 30 points given up in the loss. This isn't and we didn't lose this game, right? Thank God we didn't lose it. But whenever we're playing these tougher teams, Dan Quinn is like a freaking deer in headlights. He doesn't know what to do. He's getting taken full advantage of. And I'm tired of him going up on the podium with his backwards hat and giving all these excuses. And another thing is, these players don't fear Dan. Those offensive players, they see Mike McCarthy, they see Schottenheimer as a coach. You're a coach first, right? That is their coach. They take it seriously. You can see the way Mike runs the offense, how everyone has gotten better, and everyone who isn't getting better, they're getting phased out. They're getting phased out of game plan because Mike doesn't have time to be playing around. You see, Dan Quinn, and he's too busy being buddy and best friends. That's why you saying Mike describes him as he's like my uncle, and he's like this, he's like that, because they don't respect Dan Quinn. Let me not say that. That's not what I'm saying. It's not that they don't respect him. They do respect him. That's not what I meant. They don't have a fear of him. They don't have that. If I play bad, I'm not going to get on the field. That's exactly what Kellen Moore was. Kellen Moore's like, hey, you can do whatever the heck you want. No one was. I think the players respected Kellen as a man, but no one was afraid of him. And in order to bring out the excellence, the best in your players, you got to push your players. You got to show your players. If you're not going to show up and play like you need to play, I'm going to replace you. Dan Quinn has yet to do this. So anyway, his name is Dan Moore. And he's going to be Dan Moore until I see some real changes. And we're about to go through our gauntlet, right? We got Eagles, then we got Bills, then we got Dolphins, then we got Lions, and then I think that we end the season with the Commanders. So we're going to see. Dan Quinn, are you going to make any adjustments? Or are we expecting our offense to put up 40-plus points against all these opponents? Is that what we're going to expect, Dan Moore? I'm sorry, but just like everybody was making videos and all this stuff about Kellen Moore, we need to do the same thing for Dan Quinn because he can be the very reason we lose it all. Just like we had that pit in our stomach of, y'all see I got rowdy here in the background, but just like we had that pit in our stomach of like, if something were to end our season, it's going to be Kellen Moore. That's exactly what we have this year. If something's going to end our season, it could be Dan Quinn. And luckily, and it wasn't the scheme is the reason why the players stepped up. The defense stepped up in the end of that fourth quarter. It was the players. It was DeMarcus Lawrence. It was Micah Parsons. It was Jordan Lewis saying, we will not lose. Dan Quinn had him in the same positions. He had Jay Lou playing man coverage. Jay Lou just played out of his body and got the job done. Okay? So I say, how can we fix this? Use your voice, right? In order for real change to occur, public pressure has to ensue. If we continue to allow Dan Moore off the hook, he will continue doing what he's doing just like Kellen Moore. Okay? And I say Dak can carry us, right? Dak doesn't need the defense to be all world, but the defense has, in these big games, they have to show up sooner than late in the fourth. You got to show up sooner. They did that same thing versus the Eagles, and it was too late. Y'all did that same thing versus the Seahawks, and luckily we was able to overcome. But y'all got to show up sooner. You know, we're not saying hold these teams to 0 points. Obviously, that's too much for y'all. We're not saying that. But can you hold the team to 21 points, 24? Can y'all at least do that? We're giving y'all three touchdowns and a field goal y'all can give up. Can y'all at least just keep it at that? 28, 32. Like, it's what y'all give up to the 49, 41, 42? We can't be having that. We cannot be having that. We got to do better, and it stems from the coaching. It stems from the coaching. The players overcame coaching in this Seahawks game. That's how we was able to close it out. But we can't ask the players to do that every single week. Dan Quinn, you have to step up. You have to evolve, just like Mike McCarthy did. Mike McCarthy evolved his offense. He listened to his players. He put the best players on the field, not his draft picks, not the highest paid, but the best players on the field. You need to do the exact same thing, Dan Moore. Because if you don't, you could be the sole reason why we don't reach a Super Bowl. And I saw some crazy nonsense today that if we don't do a deep run, Dan Quinn is next. I don't want Dan Quinn being my head coach. Are you guys crazy? With the way that Mike and Dak is cooking this thing up, you want Dan Quinn to be the head coach? You guys have got to be on some type of drug. Absolutely not. Absolutely. Let me get to my last slide, and then we're going to let out. Players of the game, Dak Prescott, DeMarcus Lawrence. You have honorable mention, CeeDee Lamb, Osa, you can say have honorable mention. He had a great game. The front had a good game. It was really the secondary that was horrendous. Because the front had Geno under pressure all game. Geno was just getting that ball out so fast. I tell you, it was like Geno Montana back there. I don't know what got into Geno, but he was throwing perfect passes. and getting that ball out. But Dak Prescott was the reason we won that game. He had to carry a team on his back, talent and leadership wise, to will us and lead us to a win. And DeMarcus Lawrence, he was that guy on defense. He is the tone setter on defense. DeMarcus Lawrence is our most consistent player we have week in and week out. And once again, in the biggest moments when it was time to show up, people will talk about the Micah Parsons ending sack, but they won't say that it was because of DeMarcus Lawrence. Micah playing better run defense is because of DeMarcus Lawrence. So I just go ahead and admit it. When it comes to who's the leaders in that locker room, is Dak Prescott, it's DeMarcus Lawrence. Both of those guys have been here the longest in their play backs. I try to say Micah Parsons is the leader. He's not the leader. He is our best player. He is our best player. He is not the leader. DeMarcus Lawrence is the leader. And so is that. Okay? Anyways, guys, that's all I have today. Let's please keep the pressure up. Like I said, just like we kept all that pressure, all that noise for Kellen Moore, we got to do it. Against Dan Quinn, because it's become a pattern now. It's a pattern. We're getting these big games. Defense just looks like what the hell is going on. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. And I remember after that 49ers loss, Micah said he felt like the players, he said, we was not put in the best position. That means coaches let us down. And if we're not careful, this next stretch, even if we get over this next stretch, in the playoffs, stakes are higher. Every team is going to play lights out because this is the playoffs. It's win or go home. We have to step it up. And if Star is the only person that's going to scream it from the hilltop, I'm going to do it. But I'm sorry, I'm not giving them, it was 3 games in 12 days and they was tired and we just know that they're gonna show up at the end, because if it was the reverse, and it was the offense that was on this struggle bus, y'all will be saying Dak is trash. We need to replace him. Where's Trey Lance? Y'all will be saying fire Mike McCarthy, please. He's awful. Please take him off of play calling, just like I was doing at the beginning of the year. Now everybody loves Mike, but at the beginning of the year, everybody's like, let's get rid of Mike McCarthy. He's a terrible play caller. Let Brian Schottenheimer do it. So stop trying to y'all playing favorites with Dan Moore because he's y'all's guy. Because we've all been so fascinated with Dan Moore since he got here. But he is literally Kellen Moore. But anyway, thank you guys for rocking with me tonight. Salute to everybody that's in the chat. Glad to have y'all here with me. Please like the video before you go out. If you haven't already, please share this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and please follow me on all my social medias, which is there on the screen. And also, if you look in the description below, I also have the links to all my social medias so that you can follow me. All right. Thank you guys so much. And you guys have a good night. Peace.